Yeah.
To do...
This house, for example, is 6 million. Short term goes 30,000 a week, between 25 and 30,000 a week. Well, guys, thank you for coming here. Welcome to this beautiful villa very close to Puente Romano. I think you got some questions for us? Shoot.
So, Alejandro, my first question is for you. What is the realistic minimum entry price for a good investment in Marbella?
Okay, for a good investment, I will have two things in consideration. First of all, location, if it's an apartment, and if it's a villa, the location can be more versatile. If it's an apartment in close to Puente Romano or Porto Anus, etc., it's going to be, let's say, around 500,000 plus. Actually, a client of us just bought one very close to Puente Romano, was 520 or something like this. Very nice, 3-bedroom. And for a villa, you can go, there is many in Nueva Andalusia, which is one good area for investments. Everybody is targeting when they come on holidays, which is what you're looking for, from 1.8, 2 million, and up to whatever you wish.
Avital, let's compare it with Dubai. What is the entry price in Dubai for a good villa, good location, and for 3-bedroom apartment, good location in Dubai?
Wow, minimum 5 million euro.
Wow.
For villa?
Yes.
Wow. Which area in Dubai?
J1, Palm Jumeirah, Al Barari, Jumeirah Island, Dubai Hills.
Minimum.
Emirates Hills minimum. You need like minimum 20 million euro.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. So let them come to Marbella then.
Yeah. And for apartment?
No, cheaper. Studio like will be like 500,000 dirham. Let's say in euro 100,000 euro.
That's
Are
so
these
cheap.
pre-crash prices or is it the prices right now? Because
No,
we have
like
the crash.
this. No, we didn't really crashed.
Really?
You had like people that was distressed to sell, but the market didn't go down. It's not like COVID or...
Okay.
Okay, nice. It's curious because you have a lot of 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom, etc. Here is like 1 bedroom is not very common. So the prices
In
that
Dubai,
I
it's
told
very
you
common.
So in Dubai,
is 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Actually, the 521 they has 3 bedrooms, right?
It's crazy.
It's incredible.
Okay, so Alejandro, I don't know if you know, but in Dubai we use 1% monthly developer payment plans.
Okay.
You do not.
Without interest.
Yes, without interest.
Nice.
You do not put
Wow.
all the payment up front. You pay 1% each month.
Very good.
Do Spanish developer offer anything similar?
Not even. They have a payment plan, but that's not even similar, I gotta tell you.
So what is it?
Usually, it goes between 10 and 20% on entry price, and after midway, you have to give them a payment of 30 to 50%, and after, you wait up to completion, which is maybe another 30%, depending on the previous numbers.
Yeah.
It's payment plans.
It's also payment plan. It's also
yes.
good. Like 2-3
not
years, you
monthly.
need to pay 100%, no?
Yes. I think, for example, the model that they have in Dubai is a recurrent business monthly.
Yeah.
So it's like a cash flow business. Here, the construction part, as it works, is the developer is paying the construction company as they finish every stage.
No, so in Dubai, all the money not going to the developer, it's going to escrow account. So
Amazing.
till he give you the key for your apartment, he cannot touch the money. So you have to come with a lot of money in order to make construction.
That's much more protected than here.
Yeah.
Of course,
Very
this is
smart.
why, because most of the people that invest in Dubai, they don't live in Dubai, just for investment.
Yeah. So they need to be careful with that. That's great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's very good.
Now I think the most common question. Can non-European resident get a mortgage here?
Yes, they can. Actually, we discussed it before. You have to be careful with the currency that is being used. There is certain currencies that are not allowed. There is ways to do it, which you can do a patrimonial SL here, but it's up to 70% if the finances are good.
70% is good.
It's a lot. In Dubai, you get 50. Half.
No,
Half.
but it depends. If you're a resident, we can get more.
Yeah.
For non-resident, you can get just 50%.
Wow, it's good.
Non-resident 50%, resident 85.
In Dubai, you can get only when the on the handover.
Okay.
Like only when you already get the key.
Like not during construction.
Okay.
For example, you buy a property, the property will be ready in 3 years. You need to pay 50% if you are non-resident. And then when you get the keys, you get 50% mortgage.
Okay.
But if you are resident, you get 80%, but is back on the payments you already
Yeah.
paid.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit
But
different.
for Emirati people, they can get 95%.
It's crazy. Let's be Emiratis.
Oh my God.
95.
That's going to be a bit challenging for us.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Okay, so Alejandro, what is the average net rental yield an investor can actually take home in Spain?
I will tell you on a percentage. It can be close to 10% if you do the best model of rental. That is what we spoke about during the walkthrough.
Yeah.
A mix between a mid-rental, mid-term, which is not the summer months. So everything but July and August. So from September to June, 15th of June will be ideal, which is the school year. And then in summer, you rent it
But there
short
is
term.
good schools here.
Super good. You have Swans, you have Aloha International School, the German school. Amazing.
And how many people really living in Marbella? Like residents?
It increases 4 or 5 times the population in summer. So imagine.
So most of the people, they come for holiday home, let's say, like
Yes,
vacation home.
yes, they do. It's becoming more as a permanent place to live.
And
I
also,
have-
I saw many families around.
It's a lot of families
like, it's
around.
very like place
Yeah.
to come with the kids.
Yeah. Over time, as I was gonna mention, let's say people start coming for a longer time than for holidays. I have closed more long-term contracts than short-term. Over the past year, has been increasing on long-term contracts.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the ROI for long-term contract?
It will be good if you reach a 7%.
Seven, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
7, 8. And it's doable. Mostly depending on the property, but you saw the lack that was here on, there is no properties around 7,000, 8,000 euros a month, which is a nice 3-4 bedroom apartment that can cost you 900, a million. And if you rent it for between 7 and 8, well, you
Yeah,
make
it
the
depends
numbers.
of what you are like. Usually
Yeah.
villas, you can rent much more.
Yes, but the prices are depending on the villa. You need to play a lot with it. The best to get a long-term ROI is apartments around 1 million or townhouses.
Yeah.
That you get the best ROI for long-term. Villas, you do the mix
Yeah,
between
because
bid
most
and
of the
short.
people, they are not rich.
Avital,
Yes.
long-term in Dubai, ROI.
No, 10% minimum. 10%.
Nice.
Yeah. For villas, it can be even 12.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Short-term in Marbella.
Wow. That's the cherry. You can do as much money as you wish. Usually, so you understand the
We
idea.
wish to do.
This house, for example, is 6 million, okay? Then on a long term, you can aim for 35,000 a month. Short term goes 30,000 a week, between 25 and 30,000 a
Yeah,
week.
because I told you, in
Crazy.
Puerto Romano is for 1 week, 10,000 euro for bedroom like this.
Yeah, yeah,
50 square meters.
yeah. In
500
Novo, right?
square.
Less than 50, 15 maybe. It's like 20. It's like, I was like,
Yeah.
it's not enough place
For our luggage.
Yeah. You're staying in Novo, no?
No, we stay in a
Villa.
villa next to Porto Banús.
Ah, okay.
It's big villa. It's nice.
Avital, short term in Dubai, the craziest ROI.
16.
Oh,
16.
I like it.
16. I have one apartment that I make on Airbnb, less still 16% on Airbnb.
And what is like the season? Because you feel the season
so
there?
the season
It's winter,
is
no?
like, let's say, from October till May, June.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect combination with Marbella.
Exactly. That's why I said
It's like,
it's nice
wow,
for
let's-
holiday home.
You should
But-
have an apartment here as well.
Yeah, but no, not apartment, villa. I like villas, but when you come with family, when I will have kids, so if it's nice place, it's very good because you always need to have summer home.
I will keep you
It's very
this one for
difficult
you.
to go with kids to hotel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Avital, why would Spanish investor will come to invest in Dubai?
Because they are white, just for investment, to make money. But here, I
Yeah.
don't think it's more like as investment. It's more like for fun. Like
You have both actually.
How much you pay tax here on investment?
That depends on the country of origin. Because, for example, if you buy the property in Dubai and you're resident in Dubai and the company is from Dubai,
so we don't pay.
exactly. Because you can have like a company here that manages everything, or the one that the property is registered, but you have the management that you have to pay to the mother company that you have in Dubai, and you are Dubai resident.
And the VAT, how much you say? 21%?
The VAT is 21%.
Wow. So
Yes.
it means that everything I buy, I get 21%?
Sorry?
If I buy something here, then I get 21%?
In Hermes, for example.
In this, you mean, well, actually, when you buy products,
70.
you have this duty tax free on the airport that you can
How much
discount it.
percent here?
21.
21%.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the best combination is to bring Spanish investor to Dubai, because for example, they buy a villa for what, 1 million, 5 million, euros.
Yeah.
And then they sell it, for example, in 7 million euros. They do not pay tax on it in Dubai.
Unless they live here. The Spanish government will tell them, hello.
To your country.
That is the problem, yeah. That's the
So it
issue
doesn't
with it.
matter. Okay, you don't pay tax there. You don't pay double tax, but you need to pay by
אז רק לנו זה טוב.
Here is the
Exactly.
setup for someone that lives in Dubai or any other country. They will have an operations company here. They just do operations, cleaning, taking. But if you have the management company in Dubai, the management company invoices this one here.
Yeah,
for
you
the
can do like
management.
sister company.
Yes, it's a company.
Exactly. And then you don't pay the taxes there, of course.
Yeah,
Make
we
it
don't
easy.
take tax.
Alejandro, if we bring investor to buy a home in Marbella, do you do all the process for them, like the buying, the tax thing, the Airbnb
Find it, yeah,
license,
to find the
furniture?
From 0 to 100. Actually, we have contacts that we have been creating throughout all experience, which is even if you buy an old villa, we can put a project of renovation, interior design, everything key ready. So from the searching of the property or of the plot, in case you want to buy a plot, until the end, until it's ready, everything they need in between, we can offer it.
Because short term bring the highest ROI. Is it easy to get Airbnb license in Marbella?
For apartments, if they are inside a community, you need first permission from the community.
For this villa?
Like everyone.
For this villa, is independent, so you just need to apply for it, and you will get it.
But usually they approve, no?
Sorry?
Like usually they approve.
Yes.
To get
There's
an
no issue.
Airbnb license in Spain, it works by zones. Some zones are allowed. There are 4 zones in each big city.
Okay.
Madrid has 4 zones, Barcelona has 4 zones, and Andalusia in certain areas they have 4 zones. Zone 1 you cannot get a license, even if the community allows it.
But what is means zone 1?
Zone 1 means high density. Too many licenses already provided. You know? Too many Airbnbs already exist there. And it's a bit complicated, but it works well. It works well for the ones that have Airbnb because they have a higher ROI, and it works well for the guests too because they have.
In Malaga, they have that. For example, in Marbella, they are very specific. They give this power from the mayor place. They give this power to the communities. So even if it's zone 1 or 2 or 3, the community says it's allowed.
It decides.
Then they can apply for it.
They have to do that. That
Yeah.
is in any place of Spain.
I have
Yeah.
community
another
has to agree.
question. You say Marbella or Marbella?
Marbella.
Marbella.
Yes.
So why everyone say Marbella?
Because we don't correct them. We just let them say it.
French people, they say Marbella.
Marbella, yes. Because it's a translation of it.
Marbella.
Avital, for a client that Alejandro or Moss will bring to Dubai, what kind of process you do for them? What do you take care of in Dubai?
All.
Explain us.
Everything. We do the rent, we do like the resale if they want, we can make flip if they just want to make money,
Amazing.
furnished, everything.
Visa, bank
Like we do.
accounts,
Oh, okay.
everything.
That's good because, for example, one thing that people doesn't know that is a bit complicated in Dubai, and many people has been like they don't know how to do it, the visa thing and everything. So it's good that you take care of that part as well. For me, it's also easy because I'm Spanish, and Spanish structure has been known like forever. But Dubai is like a new thing. Like not everybody knows how to do the visa, so they are a bit lost. It's a new country, let's say. So that's very good that you offer them that, because it's not like a common knowledge. In Spain, most of people maybe they know about it,
Yes.
but in Dubai, I will be lost, honestly.
So let's talk a bit about the protection for the investor.
Okay.
In Dubai, for example, when an investor buys an apartment,
And it's off plan, all the money go to escrow account.
That's amazing.
how it
But
goes in Spain?
In Spain, doesn't go to escrow
How I
account.
can know that, okay, I bought, let's say the villa is still under construction, I pay the money, and how I can know that the developer will finish the construction?
That's a very good question.
Also,
But
in
it's
Dubai, if you have delay, like, okay, if now I'm developer and I have delay of more than 1 year, so the government, they take the like they take the control of the construction, they will finish the construction and they will give money for all the people that bought apartments.
That's amazing.
So the maximum that they can late by the law is 1 year. So it's good.
Here there is the developers that they have certain fines if they don't finish in time, because the developers, the construction company are usually separated, which is very good for that.
Now, very interesting question. I have apartment in Dubai, and if my tenant don't pay,
Usually the tenant pay 1 year in advance.
That's beautiful.
So you get all the money from 1 year. The maximum usually they put like 4 checks. You cannot pay every month. Like there is no way to pay monthly.
I see the difference of the economy, because here in
Yeah.
Marbella there is not many people that can afford to pay 1 year in advance.
Like you have to pay like every month, and most of the people they pay from the salary. So for example, they make 20,000, they pay 5,000 for the rent. But in Dubai it's not like this. We pay 1 year in advance.
But you also need to realize that in Dubai is a new city that people is coming there and they have some certain economically comfort. Here it's a different type of country. It's the Spanish economy where families have been living here forever,
For years,
and they have maybe have a couple of income on a basic income. They cannot afford to pay 6 months. Actually, it's illegal to pay 1 year upfront in the long-term
Yes?
contracts.
Wow.
Maximum is 6 months.
that's so different.
However, you can offer to pay 1 year, and the landlord can accept. So that's the game. Some landlords, they say, I don't want any clients that don't offer 1 year.
Alejandro, what is the best area to invest in Marbella?
Golden Mile.
This one, no?
Yes.
Avital, what is the best area to invest in UAE?
Now near the casino, Marjan Island. You know that they build now the first casino in the UAE, in
I hear that, yeah.
the Middle East.
Where is it going to be?
It's near to Dubai. It's like one emirate that it's called Ras Al Khaimah.
Ah, Ras Al Khaimah, yes, I know. It's very cute. I have a friend of mine that has a villa there. It's a very quiet area, peaceful, etc.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Nice.
But it's going to have like the casino, so it will be win same like Vegas.
Okay. What did you like more, like Dubai or Ras Al Khaimah?
Dubai. No, for living
living.
Dubai, but for investment Ras Al Khaimah.
Okay.
Avital, how much apartments you have in Ras Al Khaimah?
6.
You like it? Wow.
Me too. Now I got another one. So Alejandro, what is the best investor for Marbella?
The one that has the money to be able to pay in a villa here. That's the best one. But for me, I think anyone that can have also economical ecosystem outside Spain is going to be much more benefited here, because you need to understand that you are competing with people that are mostly European or Spanish, and they have a property here, so the taxes that they're going to pay is going to be much higher than if somebody has an ecosystem economic outside of Europe and Spain, because they're going to have a 20 or 25% more possibility.
Alejandro, buying a property in Marbella is
Yes.
more emotionally or numbers the talking?
That's a very good question. Numbers. People look a lot of numbers, but the good thing is that there is a huge offer. So maybe you're gonna end up with 3-4 options that give you very similar numbers, and that is when somebody that is showing you the house come in handy, understanding what you want.
The investor who comes here, they look more for value for money, or they look more for value for their heart?
I think it's more for the money.
For me, it's for
Yes.
heart.
For Avital is both. Avital, what is the best investor for Dubai?
People that want to make money. No, I think I never sold apartments there for someone that really wants to live in this house.
Okay.
Because we sell like mostly off-plan, and we just help to our like people to go.
Yeah.
They bought the apartment. Do they give it to a management company to put it
Okay,
on
so
Airbnb?
for example,
or?
many people they sell during the construction, because in
Okay.
Dubai you can pay 34% and to sell.
Okay.
So you don't need to have the whole 100% of the apartments. And then many people they just enjoy from the prices that increase
Increase.
very fast.
Exactly.
So let's say in Ras Al Khaimah they increase in 38% in 2 years.
Okay.
So it's very simple to make money there.
Obviously.
It's nice.
So you can make even 100% on the money that you put.
Yes.
I make many flip for myself, and then I started to open the real estate company.
Okay.
I have a question for both of you, Alejandro
Okay.
and Avital. First you, Alejandro. Wait. If an investor is choosing between European stability and Dubai growth, what will be the deciding factor for them?
I think it's two different things, no?
It's completely different.
Like
I wouldn't say.
Europe is like more old, like it's already like the ROI is very stable, like it's not changed so much. Dubai is still like booming, so it's different kind of investment.
Yeah.
I think that you should make multiple.
I wouldn't say Europe. I would say because you have always different cities worldwide, which is recognized as like Miami, LA, Marbella, Dubai, etc., etc. So all of them are key for investors. You know, depends on the personal taste of each.
Avital, tell us about the craziest deal you done.
80 million. No, 80 million dirham is like 20 million euro.
Yeah.
Nice.
And tell us about the craziest flip you have done.
More
For a client.
more than double on the money that he put in 2 months.
Great.
Which project?
In Ras Al Khaimah, near the casino. It was exactly almost 187% on the money that he put in less than 2 months.
Wow.
A little bit less than 2 months.
For me, one of the craziest one is one that it didn't go through, that they rejected the offer, which is crazy. It's one villa that I know how much was the price. I cannot disclose it, but it's close to the craziest thing you said. And the money they have put on the table is 35 million, which is very good for a property in Marbella. It's a huge mansion. And they said, no, we're going to keep it. I'm like, oh, no, don't say that.
Avital, what is the common mistake that investor has in mind before investing in Dubai?
There are so many.
Give us a few.
No, first, if they don't have enough money and they don't make good calculation for what they need to put, and then they stuck on the middle. What else?
Second, I think mostly some people don't understand the market and think it's too good to be true.
Yes, okay, this is more Israeli.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That will be a Spanish thing as well.
Yes?
Yeah.
Most of the people, they have
No,
like,
this is too good. No,
Yeah.
this is a lie.
it's exactly. Yes, this is the deal.
Avital, in one sentence, why Spanish should invest in Dubai?
Money, to make money. I think it's very different kind of investment. And good investors know that you should make multiple investment in different places in the world.
Alejandro, in one sentence,
Okay.
why people should invest in Marbella?
Convince me.
Place of reference. You are in Europe,
Yeah.
and everybody loves it.
Yes, you feel like many tourists come here?
Everybody loves it.
Because this is my first time in Marbella.
And?
It's my first time. Marbella.
And you love it? No, but I mean, and you love it?
For now, yes. I think it's kind of Monaco and Saint-Tropez.
We have the best cocktails.
Kind of.
We just put everything in Monaco, Dubai,
Yeah.
party, sun, chill, family. We look, and you make it, drink it. And next week you're gonna be talking to Marbella to everybody.
I think for winter, Spanish people or Europeans should come to Dubai.
Yeah, and then summer we need to come to Marbella.
Holiday home in Dubai, and summertime is completely Europe time.
Yes.
What is your favorite
Euro
places
summer.
in Marbella?
The favorite places, either for like going out or for what?
Let's say for
Dinner.
going out.
For going out and dinner, etc., is between Marbella Club and
Why it's so late here? Yesterday
12.
we was in a
That's
dinner.
not late. That's perfect.
They opened the restaurant 10 p.m. I was shocked to open restaurant for dinner 10 p.m.
We have food kitchens until 6 p.m.
The party
6 a.m.
started at 2 a.m. I was like, wow, Oryan, I'm so
You
tired.
know, in Momento, you can order food at 5 p.m. 5 a.m.
5 a.m., it's
5 a.m.
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Loco.
You go for dinner, you go party a little bit, you get hungry, you sit down, eat, and you keep going.
And it's perfect because it's exactly when the munch after the alcohol and then you want to eat.
Ah, now it's good. You see, that's why people end up, in Marbella, I eat at 5 a.m. And it's like, should we go back there? That's how everything starts.
The nightmare is when you are drunk, you want to eat something and then everything is closed and then
Yeah.
you have to come back home and dizzy. And then you eat just like cheese from the fridge.
How are people investing their money and getting a net operating income? You said that some rent it, most make money on the equity, that's great. I think you don't have a big problem with licensing in
No,
very easy.
no.
very easy.
2
And
days.
you know, everyone can live in Dubai.
Yes, everyone can move to Dubai. That's good.
And that's it.
Okay, amazing.
Muchas gracias.
Well,
Mucho.